This tutorial will give you an overview of how live studio drums can be used to get live, multi-track drums for your songs. Using LSD is just like hiring a professional drummer, except you produce the tracks from the comfort of your own studio. You'll also find LSD to cost only a fraction compared to hiring a professional drummer and renting a studio and engineer. To start an LSD project, click on the Start Session button found at the top of the Live Studio Drums homepage. Here you will find the studio checklist, which you use to tell us about your song and how you want your drum tracks to be recorded. The top section of the studio checklist allows you to create an LSD account, which only needs to be filled out once. After creating your account, all future projects will be accessed by logging in. Once logged in, you'll be able to see the status of all your existing projects, start new projects, and communicate directly with the drummer throughout the recording process. The next section in the studio checklist is where you tell us your specific song information, like name of song, tempo, and format you want your final drum tracks to be delivered in. The next section asks whether or not you would like us to add EQ and compression during the recording. We add just a little, so you can always add more during the final mix of your song. Most people select to have us add some appropriate EQ compression. Most songs require the use of regular drumsticks, but if you're going for a more mellow sound, you can have the drummer use brushes instead. You can even choose the snare drum you would like the drummer to use if you have a preference. Or just select the last option, which tells the drummer to use the snare he feels is appropriate for the song. The performance section is where you give the drummer an idea of how you hear the drums being performed. Whether you're looking for a simple performance or a more aggressive approach. The last section allows you to tell the drummer any specific thoughts you have about the drum parts, like don't play in the intro, or keep it light in the bridge section. You'll also have the opportunity to communicate more with the drummer after you submit the studio checklist. You can even schedule a phone call to talk with the drummer directly before the recording session. Once completing the studio checklist, click the Submit button. You will then be brought to the Rates page where you select the payment option that's right for you. There are different options depending on how quickly you need your tracks recorded, and there are also discounts when ordering more than one project. You don't need to submit all your projects at this time to take advantage of the multiple session packs. You can always order a session pack, then fill out the studio checklists for each project at a later time, whenever you have them ready. After ordering your session, log into your account by clicking the Login button. Once logged in, you'll see the project that you just submitted. Click the Details link to see the details on that song. And here you can enter more information for the drummer and read his replies. At the bottom, upload your scratch track in MP3 format. This is the file that the drummer will play along to in his headphones when he records. The scratch track should not include any existing drums you may already have, but rather a mix of the instruments that best demonstrate the feel and groove of the song. Typically this will be the bass and guitar tracks mixed a little louder than the other instruments. It's also best to have the vocals present in this mix, but lower than usual so the drummer can clearly hear the other rhythm tracks. After uploading your scratch track, you can also upload another MP3 file that shows any drum ideas you may have already started, such as MIDI tracks or loops. This will give the drummer a starting direction and any specific drum parts you may want him to duplicate. This MP3 file is called the reference track. We also have documents with more information on preparing your MP3 scratch and reference tracks. Just click the How It Works and the FAQ buttons at the top of the page. And of course, if you're new to using multi-track drums, We will be available to help you along each step of the way. So don't worry if you're not sure if your scratch track is prepared correctly. We'll guide you through the whole process. When your drum tracks are recorded, you'll be sent an MP3 to hear your new drums. Once approved, all individual high-resolution drum tracks will be uploaded for you. You then simply download them and import them into your song. They will all line up perfectly, sample accurate to each other to mix with your other instrument tracks. Try LSD today. No MIDI, no loops, just real live multi-track drums performed by a professional drummer. Visit livestudiodrums.com to start your session.